Hello, amazing people. Welcome back to Mindset Mavericks. Atomic Habits by James Clear. Master the science of habits for lifelong success. Welcome to this comprehensive breakdown of James Clear's revolutionary book, Atomic Habits. This isn't just another self-help book. It's a science-backed guide that explains how tiny changes can lead to remarkable results over time. Today, we'll dive deep into the book, chapter by chapter, exploring its powerful lessons, practical frameworks, and real-world applications. Let's get started. Atomic Habits Summary at Glance. If you can get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. Conversely, if you get 1% worse each day for 1 year, you'll decline nearly down to zero. Atomic Habits by James Clear is a book that talks about the power of small habits in creating lasting changes in your life. Unlike generic and repetitive motivational books, this book tells you that real change comes from countless small decisions, not just motivation. A considerable emphasis is given to building a system instead of focusing on goals. With exceptional storytelling, personal anecdotes, and real-life examples, Clear takes you on a journey of self-improvement. Every concept you learn about is backed by scientific research, making it clear that you will achieve results. Whether it's the habit loop, 2-minute rule, identity-based approach, habit stacking, or most of the other concepts, they all have a reason why they work. Clear also breaks commonly followed notions like chasing immediate positive changes. Instead, he explains how you need to improve by 1% every day consistently. For instance, if you go to the gym one day, you won't build your abs. But consistently going to the gym for 4 weeks will positively change your body. He also breaks the myth that habit is an endpoint. He explains how taking a cab to the gym is what builds the habit rather than the endpoint of reaching the gym. Clear gives examples of some of the greatest achievements in different fields and brilliantly connects the dots to help you understand how these tactics work no matter what stage you are at. So, Atomic Habits is your go-to guide if you're stuck in a bad habit labyrinth or find yourself asking, why on earth do I do that? Whether you're already achieving and craving more, or just aiming to improve and grow, this book can help. Key takeaways from Atomic Habits by James Clear. Focus on making tiny adjustments to your behavior, as small changes lead to lasting improvements. Strategically use the habit loop, cue, craving, response, and reward to build a new habit. Align your habits with the identity you want to build, and let your habits reinforce the person you aspire to be. Integrate a new habit into an existing routine. Existing cues and human behavior make it easier to establish and maintain new habits. Have patience, as the progress in habit formation is often not immediately visible. Design your environment to support habit formation. Breaking down habits into 2-minute tasks makes them more manageable. Habit formation is an ongoing process of continuous improvement. So, be willing to adjust your habits as circumstances change. Forming good habits. A breakdown of Atomic Habits' 4 laws. Clear's 4 laws of human behavior change stem from the concept of the habit loop. This loop comprises 4 stages: cue, craving, response, reward. Stage 1, cue. The cue acts as a trigger, initiating the good habit loop, and can be anything from a specific time to an emotional state. Stage 2, craving. Following the cue, there is a craving, a motivational force representing the desire for the reward associated with the habit. Stage 3, response. The response is the actual behavior or action performed in response to the cue and craving, constituting the habit itself. Stage 4, reward. Finally, the reward is the positive outcome or satisfaction resulting from completing the habit, reinforcing the loop, and increasing the likelihood of habit repetition. Based on these 4 steps, Clear created 4 laws that help you build a successful habit loop. In each law, he gives 3 to 4 tactics for habit building and 1 tactic to break it. Let's see how we can use both aspects to enhance productivity. Law number 1. Make it obvious. Are you aware of the habits you must build and break? If not, there's no way you can train your mind to act a certain way. You see, human minds act on cues and bad habits repeat. When you experience something repeatedly, your reaction to it becomes natural. There's a cue that gives your brain a signal to act a certain way, and your behavior or response becomes automatic. As Clear mentions, museum curators have been known to discern the difference between an authentic piece of art and an expertly produced counterfeit, even though they can't tell you precisely which details tip them off. Why? Because they have been repeatedly identifying authentic art for years. The little gaps become so relevant that a single glance catches it. We might not think it's real, but invisible cues trigger their minds. To pick up on these cues and automate behaviors, you've got to become more aware. Here are some ways to do this. 1. Habit scorecards. A habit scorecard is like a checklist where you jot down your daily activities. Then, you figure out if each habit is positive, negative, or neutral in its impact. The goal of your habit scorecard is to gain awareness and identify patterns contributing to or hindering progress. Creating it is simple. All you need to do is list your regular daily activities at work or home. Categorize each activity as positive, negative, or neutral. Rate each habit based on its overall impact. Understand how your current behaviors affect productivity. Let's put this into action. Time 9 a.m. activity review and set daily priorities rating 4. Time 10 a.m. activity. Begin working on high priority tasks rating 4. Time 12 p.m. activity lunch break rating 5. Time 1 p.m. activity check progress on tasks. Adjust the plan rating 3. Time 2 p.m. activity attend team meeting rating 4. Time 3 p.m. activity continue working on tasks rating 5. Time 6 p.m. activity wrap up work for the day rating 3. Time 8 p.m. activity submit completed tasks by the deadline rating 2. Look at the lowest score. Submit completed tasks by the deadline rating 2. Now, observe how the tasks related to your submissions also have a low score. If you want to change this and submit your tasks on time, you need to work more on high-priority tasks. Check progress and adjust plans. Reflect on the day and make better plans for tomorrow. Wrap up the tasks you set for today. If not, you will continue to miss deadlines, and the burden will shift to the next day. 2. Implementation intention. Implementation intention involves planning when and where to take specific actions to reach your goals. First, spot the gap in your existing habits. For instance, in the example mentioned earlier, you finish the task but don't allocate time for reflecting on the day. Now, set a goal like this. I will reflect on my day and plan for tomorrow at 5 p.m. Secondly, you can use habit stacking, a technique to pair a new habit with an existing one. For example, after I am done working on my current tasks, I will reflect on the priority tasks I couldn't complete. Lastly, induce the cues of better habits in your environment. As Clear states, motivation is overrated. The environment often matters more. If you want to reflect on your goals better, look for goal tracking apps that help you keep up with your progress. You can also set a vision board that compels you to take action. 3. Breaking a bad habit. Make it invisible. Do you know that people with high self-control tend to spend less time in tempting situations? They reduce exposure to the cue that causes bad habits to eliminate them. For example, you wait for the day to end to go out for a drink, spend time with your spouse, or do something productive. But towards the end of the day, you find yourself browsing through social media. In this scenario, you must distance yourself from these cues, your phone, until you do what you intend to do. Make it a pact not to use social media before planning the next day. Keep your phone silent and eliminate any other distractions in your environment as a part of your time management strategies. Law number 2, make it attractive. In his second law, Clear mentions that habits operate on a dopamine-driven feedback loop. Put simply, when dopamine goes up, so does the urge to take action. The anticipation of rewards is so powerful that it pushes you to act. Clear suggests the use of temptation bundling to achieve that. In this technique, you pair up an action you want to do with an action you need to do. Temptation building strategy. Let's say you aim to minimize distractions and stay focused during work, but you also want to watch a podcast you love. Here's what you can do. Designate specific time blocks for focus work, e.g., 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Listen to one episode of the podcast you love when you take a break at 11 a.m. For instance, commit to 90 minutes of focused work on your marketing report. Take a 20-minute break, during which you can watch the podcast. This way, you train your mind to work consistently for 90 minutes before you get to do what you want. Combine habit stacking with temptation bundling. Clear also suggests combining two techniques to enhance your productivity. Here's the formula. After current habit, I will habit I need. After habit I need, I will habit I want. It looks something like this. After lunch, I will work on my marketing reports for 90 minutes. After working for 90 minutes, I will watch one episode of my favorite podcast. Another crucial aspect that helps is surrounding yourself with the right tribe. If you hang out with people who hate their jobs, you will start hating your job too. But if you hang out with a crowd discussing progress, motivation, and goals, you will likely reflect on yours and set the bar higher for yourself. Breaking bad habits. Reprogramming your mind. Now, let's talk about breaking the bad habits we've built over the years. Let's say you wake up at 9 every morning and you have to leave to work at 10. You've been trying to break this loop and want to wake up early. So you keep telling yourself, I have to wake up at 5 a.m., but I'm unable to. With a little shift in attitude, you can break this habit. Replace habit with get to. I get to wake up at 5 a.m. every morning and feel the pleasant breeze, exercise, and reflect on my personal goals. The idea is to associate hard habits with positive experiences. How will starting the day at the right pace make you feel? Make it so attractive that your body craves those experiences. This change in perspective is so powerful. You'll find it mentioned in many books on focus. Law number 3. Make it easy. The most effective form of learning is practice, not planning. The more you repeat a habit, the more your brain gets used to it. The structure of your brain changes, and you become efficient in it. It is scientifically proven that repeating a habit leads to physical changes in the brain. Clear further states, the amount of time you have been performing a habit is not as important as the number of times you have performed it. The law of least effort. We as humans naturally gravitate towards the things that require the least effort. That's where an environment shift helps. You need to create an environment where doing the hard thing is as easy as possible. Let's say you introduce a new project management software in your organization. The old system, though outdated, is familiar and requires minimal effort. In this scenario, the law of least effort is evident as employees may resist the change. That's where you can make the shift easy with training sessions, user-friendly guidelines, and a dedicated support team to address issues. Here, you make the environment conducive to learning and maximize the perceived difficulty of adopting the new system. Such changes lead to lasting work habits where employees welcome change with open arms. The 2-minute rule. Our brain is programmed to avoid doing difficult things. Throughout our days, we make many decisions. For example, the decision to complete your work or watch another episode of your favorite series on Netflix. Clear states that habits are immediate actions. For instance, you take a cab to the gym every day. The habit is taking a cab, not hitting the gym. Habits are the entry point, not the end point. When starting a new habit, Clear suggests you should follow the 2-minute rule. Anything new you take up shouldn't take longer than 2 minutes. Now, you might think that's ridiculous, but you can break down any habit into a 2-minute version. If you want to build a reading habit, you can start with reading 1 page a day. If you want to start doing yoga for 30 minutes, you can start by taking out the yoga mat. Or, in our project management example, you can put the shortcut software on your employee's desktop so they can quickly log in. This 2-minute version makes you realize that starting is pretty easy, and you take away the power of hard habits. Such tactics are often mentioned and practiced in some of the most popular growth hacking books. The takeaway? Start a gateway habit that takes you down to a more productive path. Breaking bad habits. Make it impractical. Clear states that to break habits, you need to make them impractical. Technology plays a significant role here. Let's say you spend excessive time on social media during work hours. You can install an app blocker that automates social media blocking during certain hours. As the tool restricts access to social media sites, it makes it impractical or even impossible for you to engage in a habit during those hours. Law 4. Make it satisfying. You are more likely to repeat a behavior when the experience is satisfying. Clear says that we, as humans, are conditioned to prioritize immediate rewards over delayed rewards. While building great abs on the first day at gym sounds impossible, there's another way to look at it. The cardinal rule of behavior change. What is immediately rewarded is repeated. What is immediately punished is avoided. To make habits inevitable, you need to feel successful immediately in some way. If you put the above laws into practice, making things obvious, appealing, and effortless, you're more likely to carry out the behavior. But what if you do it only that one time? That's where making it satisfying increases the likelihood of doing it again. Let's say you've set a goal to exercise regularly. After each workout, you treat yourself to a healthy smoothie or a favorite snack. By rewarding yourself with something enjoyable after exercising, you make the activity satisfying. As a result, you're more inclined to repeat the workout routine because you link it with a positive and satisfying experience. The idea is to associate immediate pleasures to continue moving towards your big goals. Habit tracker. Imagine you're convinced you're making progress, but suddenly, you find yourself feeling lost and confused without realizing how it happened. A habit tracker can be a lifesaver. It helps you monitor your progress with new habits. By visualizing and measuring these habits, you get solid proof of your progress. It creates a streak where you keep working on the habits you're building. Breaking bad habits. Get an accountability partner. Having an accountability partner is great because they offer support, encouragement, and a sense of responsibility. Sharing goals with someone who checks in on our progress boosts motivation and keeps us committed to our objectives. Knowing that someone else is aware of our goals and holds us accountable can provide a sense of external motivation to stay on track and avoid slacking off or falling back into old habits. Atomic Habits Summary Quote: Forming Good Habits. Enjoyed reading this? Popular Atomic Habits quotes. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. No single instance will transform your beliefs, but as the votes build up, so does the evidence of your new identity. Success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. You do it because it's who you are, and it feels good to be you. The more a habit becomes part of your life, the less you need outside encouragement to follow through. Incentives can start a habit. Identity sustains a habit. You should be far more concerned with your current trajectory than with your current results. To sum up, Atomic Habits teaches us that small changes lead to big transformations. By understanding the science of habits and applying the 4 laws of behavior change, you can design a life that aligns with your goals. Call to action. If you found this breakdown valuable, leave a comment sharing one habit you want to build. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into life-changing books.